What's up, y'all? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Arnis Weekly Flow here, and I wanted to talk about the Bucks' regular season record, or what will be their end of the regular season record. Um, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, I don't really want to do a playoff prediction yet. Like, there's still so much time, even though there's like anywhere from like 7 to 12 games that need to be played. I just think be kind of fun to talk about. Bucks have 10 games left, and they have 6 games on the road, 4 games at home, and I wanted to go through what my thoughts are going to be for their record at the end of the regular season. So as of right now, Bucks sit at the 3 seed in the East, and they face the 12 seed Wizards tonight. It is March 24th. March 24th, Thursday. I believe it's 24th. Hopefully it is. And it's one of their last home games, and I think they're going to come away with the W, but let's get into that in a little bit. They're going to come out on top. Wizards are like 2-8 right now in their last 10. Bucks are 8-2. I know that they've been struggling. The Wizards have been a little bit, but Kristaps has been playing okay. But Wizards are they're just not that good. They're nothing to write home about. They were 8 seed playing last year, and they really didn't do anything to make their roster better. They made a really questionable trade with Dallas, and I don't know why, but I mean, it's worked out decently for both teams, which is pretty good. And let's see. So I think the Bucks are gonna win this game tonight. Fun fact, actually, they are doing. It's a home game for the Bucks, so the first 10,000 fans tonight get replica championship rings, and I'll talk a little bit more about why that's a little upsetting for me in a minute, but. So the final 10 games for the Bucks looks like this. They got home versus the Wizards, at Memphis, at Philly, at Brooklyn, home versus Clippers, home versus Mavericks, at Chicago, home versus Celtics, and then the last 2 games are on the road against Detroit and Cleveland. And so this is how I think it's going to turn out. I think they are going to. So for the wins, I'll go through the wins first, and then the losses. Well, I'll say the wins first, say the losses, talk about the losses, talk about the wins. So I think they're going to win at home against the Wizards. I think they're going to win at Philly. They're going to win at home against the Clippers. They're going to win at Chicago and win at Detroit. And I think they're going to lose they're going to lose at Memphis. They're going to lose at Brooklyn. They're going to lose home against the Mavericks, home against the Celtics, and lose at Cleveland in the last game of the year. So first, let's talk about the losses. Why I think they're going to lose 5, and why I think they kind of need some explaining, because it's kind of odd for the Bucks who are playing pretty well right now. 8-2 in their last 10, to go 500 in their last 10 games. But this is why. I think the Grizzlies are playing really great right now. They just beat the Nets last night, or the other night. Controversial, whatever. And people say what they will say about Ja Morant not playing, and that they're 15-2 without Ja. But it's a Saturday night game against the defending champs. The Bucks played Memphis January 19th, so like mid-January, and they won. It was at home in Milwaukee, and I just think they're playing really good right now. Why not? It's a late night. Oh, I wouldn't say late night, but it's a Saturday night game. They rebound well. They score around the same rate as the Bucks. They have really great offense. It should be a close game, but I think I think they're gonna pull it out. I don't know if Ja's gonna play. I know he's day-to-day right now, but it doesn't really matter. They still play really great. Desmond Bane obviously has been kind of like lights out. He can put up 20 if he needs to. I know Chris is still day-to-day. as of today. So maybe that can impact it, where Drew and Giannis kind of have to put in the work, and we'll see how like Bobby can defend when he's actually needing to stretch out and defend against, like, I don't know, Jaren Jackson. Who else? I guess he's really only like their forward. They're like big that like actually stretches the floor. Cause is Valanciunas? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting, but I just know that they're probably going to win anyways, regardless. Even with Brook back, and even with like getting them into like playoff mode against a good team, I just don't think that they can win this game on the road. You know, if the Nets aren't going to win, and they're kind of like playing decently well right now, I don't think the Bucks are going to win either. The next game that I have them losing is the Nets, actually, and if Chris is still out by this point, which is like 4 or 5 games from now, I don't really see the Bucks having a chance. It's going to be like a full-strength Nets team at home, because the mandate is going to be lifted today, supposedly. And if Kyrie and KD are on the same court in Brooklyn against the Bucks, I think Brooklyn wins it. I know Brook has been able to bring back some defense, rebounding, and actually better on offense than his defensive impact lately. But I just don't think that they can. I don't think they can win. I know that the Bucks, they can win any game. You know, if they have Giannis on the court, they can win any game. He's an MVP, and in my personal opinion, I think Drew is a top 5 point guard right now. But if they're not playing like their brand of basketball specifically, I don't think the Bucks are going to win. And if they come out and have a bad third quarter like they pretty much always do, it's, you know, death taxes and Bucks playing bad in the third quarter, I don't think that they're going to win this game. If they're having to play comeback against like a hot Kyrie or a hot KD, or like God forbid both, it's just not going to happen. And I think the crowd will be really into it. You know, first game in what's it called? Where do the Nets play again? Why am I blanking on the name? Barclays, the Barclays Center. I just think they're gonna be into it and loving that they're beating up on the Bucks, you know, because it was the injured run and it shouldn't have counted, blah blah blah, whatever. I just think the Nets take this one. It is a recipe for failure if you are trying to play catch up against 2 Hall of Famers. Next game I have them losing is against the Mavs, the home game against the Mavs. I'd say Mavs are playing pretty good right now. I think they just won 2 in a row. They beat Minnesota the other night. It was some clutch playmaking by Luka and some good shooting at the end. I think it was like 2 back-to-back threes that basically helped them win the game. I think they won by like 2. And then they played without Luka against the Rockets, and it's the Rockets. You know, they're really bad. So it was close for a while, but I think they ended up like opening it up. I think it'd be a good game, but man, I always have this feeling like the Mavs always come into Milwaukee like late in the season, and it's like it's funny that they both start with M. I mean, the Mavericks and Milwaukee start with M, but not, you know, the nicknames or whatever. And I just think that they always come in and they just take a game, and it's like no one ever cares. You know, it's the Mavericks and the Bucks, you know, unless they play in the finals, which would be wild if the Mavericks could make it to the finals. They're kind of a team that floats, that just, you know, they play really well, but they don't actually contend. I don't think they're ready yet, but it's just one of those games. It just kind of goes by, and I think, you know, it's on national TV. It's nationally televised, so maybe that's some incentive for the Bucks to not be embarrassed on national TV. But, you know, I can see someone sitting out, Brooks sitting out because he's coming back and he doesn't want to play a bunch of back-to-back games. I can see Drew sitting out, just like load management stuff, and I could just see it not going well for the Bucks, and they just kind of lose, or Luka goes for 50, and then Kendrick Perkins talks about this is why Giannis can't be the face of the league or something like that, and that if he can't beat Luka, then how is he going to be, you know, the next LeBron of the NBA? And it's whatever. Who cares? But Mavs take this game. And then this one, I think, is the one that I'm certain that they're going to lose, is the Celtics. The Celtics take the Bucks' last home game. It's going to be a playoff-like atmosphere, even though it's not going to be close. I see this being like a potential conference finals, like a Eastern Conference Finals matchup, or like a really good second round matchup, like the Nets last year. Mostly because the Celtics are playing really good right now. They're playing incredible defense, and Tatum is like a late push MVP. It's not going to happen, but they're so good. Like, their defensive rating is second, and might as well just be first, because the Warriors are not all that great right now, missing a lot of players, and if their offense isn't as good, their defense is going to get more tired from having to play more offense. You know how it goes. Celtics are a good rebounding team. Tatum is just lights out since the All-Star break. They don't shoot a whole lot of free throws, but they have like the second best free throw percentage for a team. So the Bucks kind of foul a decent amount. I think they're like in the middle of the pack when it comes to fouling. I'd have to check again, but Celtics are gonna want it more. I think, they have a good rivalry going. That's not like a real rivalry like how it was in the past, but like just enough to where they'll want to solidify, like, hey, we can beat really good teams at home. We're on the road. We're just a really great team, and I think they can do that. Like I said, Tatum is he's unreal right now. If he's been playing this way all year, he might as well be MVP, just like right at home that he's MVP. I think at some point he's going to win an MVP. And I wouldn't be surprised if he got some votes. Maybe not first place, but like second or something like that. He's playing that good right now. Oh, Celtics win in a blowout. They always seem to shoot ridiculous from three when the Bucks play them. So, I don't have much to say about the Bucks losing in Cleveland. It just kind of like, it's the last game of the season. Whatever the seeding is, I know that sometimes teams try to like will themselves to win to avoid or to get a better seed or whatever it is. Maybe they win. They can win this game, obviously. They're still dealing with injury with Allen, I'm pretty sure. I know LeVert just kind of came back recently, I'm pretty sure. And I know that, did Rubio have some hand stuff? I don't remember. But They could win, they could lose. It doesn't really matter, but I can see them losing. Cleveland's a playoff team, or maybe even play in. I don't know, because they're kind of like trending downward. But I just think Cleveland can take this one. And I mean, Garland has been great too, just like Tatum. He's been playing unreal since the All-Star break. I think that confidence of like, yeah, I'm actually an All-Star in this league. I'm actually that damn good, has kind of shown in his play for the past like 9 or 10 games or whatever it is. And he's one of my new favorite players. I didn't really know much about him coming out of college and whatnot, and I knew that it was like between him and Sexton to kind of like, they had this weird two-headed like short guard thing going on, but with Sexton not playing a whole lot or being out for the whole year, I'm pretty sure Garland is just, he's really cool. And ever since All-Star break, I just got to see more of him, and I watched the games that the Bucks played against Cleveland, and actually like, damn, this guy's actually like, he's out there actually being one of the best players on the floor, even with the Bucks playing the Bucks. I think that says a lot about Garland and his trajectory and his career in the league. So I can see Cleveland winning that one. So for the wins, I think, they're going to win as much as they lose. They're going to go 500, but they play the Wizards tonight. Thursday, 24th, I think. I still haven't checked. Yeah, it is the 24th. So, Wizards are ass. That's it. They're just bad. They are not going to win this game. The Wizards are just not a good team right now. And I know that the Wizards won an early game in the beginning of the year. It was like November 7th. Like, it was like one of the first 10 games of the year or whatever it was. But the Bucks win in a blowout. They're minus 12 favorites. Over-under is 233. Bucks are going to easily put up damn near 130. They're going to blow them out. It's just, the Wizards play out of their mind and they shoot like 57% from three or whatever the hell, maybe they can win, but it's just not going to happen. Drew's been really good. Giannis just eats up if they can't guard in the paint. They're going to get a bunch of free throws. The Wizards don't rebound. They're not great from three. They don't shoot a whole lot of threes. I mean, their best player is not a great 3-point shooter, so long twos, mid-range game, even then they don't have the best free throw percentage. It's just not going to happen, honestly. I think even that, like, it was a blowout against the Bulls the other night. And funny enough, actually, I was at that game. I went to that game. And it didn't even feel like they were blowing them out. It just, if they weren't making the Bulls weren't making their mid-range shots like they normally would. And the Bucks just took them apart inside. So if that's any indication of like how they can play, if they can take advantage of a team that's not going to shoot well from three, then it's going to be a blowout much the same. And it was fun though. I had a blast at the game. We showed up a little late. It was me, my girlfriend, and then my old roommate, his now fiance, and his younger brother. And it was his first time going to an NBA game. But he said that he's from Illinois, so he's a big Bulls, Bears fan or whatever. And he's never been to an Illinois, a Chicago professional sports game where they won. They've always lost. He's like 0 for 8. And my girlfriend, she has gone to like 6 or so pro like Wisconsin sports games at this point, and they've always won. So I guess my luck was a little better, or her luck was a little better. But anyways, for Philly, I think the Bucks win this one. I think they go into Philly. It's going to be a playoff like atmosphere again. Hopefully Middleton is back by then, but if not, Giannis is gonna go. He's gonna go crazy. I think he's gonna wanna go for blood. He's gonna try and take some more defensive assignments on Embiid, assert his will defensively. Show him why he's genuinely a defensive player of the year candidate. Drew's been playing really great since that loss against Philly, except for like 2 games. It was like Minnesota, and I think that the next. No, he had an okay game, but didn't shoot well. The next game that they lost against Brooklyn, but Bucks basketball just making good passes at the right time, hitting big shots, and making their free throws. And that's the thing is, I think they want to win this one. It's a rubber match, and I think the Bucks are going to want to take it. If it comes down to something going on and seeding in the playoffs, I think they'll want that advantage. If it comes down to being the 2 or the 3 seed, I know it doesn't really matter if they're the 2 and the 3 and they have to play each other in the second round anyways. But regardless, if it matters, I think the Bucks are going to want to go for it. I think they don't have a whole lot of size or good size to defend in the paint, and other than Embiid, I think Giannis, Bobby, even Drew, gets into the paint, and if they can get into the paint and they can draw fouls, and if they can play Bucks basketball, I think they'll have a really good chance. Sixers don't rebound all that well. Like I said, they don't have great size. They don't have great defensive rebounding outside of Embiid. I think obviously Sixers can win this too. They shoot a lot of free throws, which is a whole nother conversation. But they don't shoot a lot of threes because they have a lot of isolation threes, whether it be pull-ups or like Harden taking a lot of threes, or even Embiid taking threes in transition. But I think the only like challenge that could come to aid Philly is, Philly faithful coming out and like really getting into Giannis's head and really booing on free throws and really, supporting Philly, because they actually have, kind of a rivalry with the whole MVP thing going on. But I think the Bucks win with high single digits and come out of Philly with a W. And for the next 3 wins, I really don't have a whole lot to say. I just think the Bucks are just the better teams in these matchups. They play the Pistons, which they might just rest against the Pistons. It's the second to last game of the season. Pistons will probably want to play spoiler, just because it's like fun end of the year stuff or whatever. They're already eliminated. They don't have anything. They might be trying to lose or not trying to do too much because of a potential like draft pick selection spot or whatever. But I think the Bucks win. They play their starters the first half. They blow it open. It's like a 15-point lead at half, and then they just try to keep it. Hopefully, they don't play terrible. Extend it in the third quarter after the break, and you know how that goes. And they could lose a cupcake. They always do it. A team does it at some point. I mean, it's also Wisconsin sports, so that can happen too. And as for the Bulls game coming up, the Bucks have the Bulls number. They're 3-0 this year against them. If they don't have Lonzo back, there's no chance. I just don't think. Excuse me. I just don't think the Bulls can do it. It is a home game for them, so maybe that can do something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Tristan Thompson goes for 15 and 12 and like 3 assists or something like that. But if they don't play really great, it's not going to happen. If DeMar doesn't go off for 35 and I mean, when I was at the game, like Javonte Green was running around doing nothing. There was like 4 possessions where he got a kick out pass from Levine, who's playing a little bit more passive because of his knee injury, and I really got to watch him play make, but Javonte would catch the ball in the corner and like not be ready and have to like pass it right away, and I just don't see the Bulls competing. Not that they don't compete, but just watching them have very little energy. There was like a little short spurt where they got it to like 8 points or something like that in the third quarter, and they showed some like energy defensively, and that fueled their offense a little bit, and they started to hit some shots and started to actually shoot some threes, but it's probably just not going to be enough. And then for the Clips, if they don't have one of Paul George or Kawhi, it's not going to happen. What's Reggie Jackson going to drop 47? Watch, he actually drops 47. But like, I don't see them having enough to actually stop Giannis, to even stop a lot of the kick out threes. I think they might want to get some revenge for the trade or whatnot, but I just don't think they have enough to beat Milwaukee. They're not playing all that great either right now. I think they're the 8 seed. Maybe they're the 9 seed, but I know they're in the play-in. Maybe they want to avoid it. Maybe they play inspired and they want to try and push for a 7 seed or, compete and like push the Nuggets down to a 7 seed or whatever it is, because it's really tight in that race in the West. But yeah, I don't see the Clippers basically standing a chance. They're not great on offense, especially considering they don't have like 2 all-star type players. And they can't win. They're just not going to win against the Bucks. So last 10 games, it's 4 easy-ish wins and 1 challenging game against Philly on the road. Playoff like atmosphere, MVP battle kind of deal. For the losses, it's 2 tough games against some hungry teams, Nets and Mavs. I think the Mavs are going to come in wanting to prove themselves a little bit against a good team on the road, nationally televised. Nets wanting to get a little bit of revenge against the Bucks. I think that's a TNT game. And then 2 blowouts, Celtics, Memphis, going to Memphis. I just don't think that they're going to put up much of a fight. It's going to be a Saturday night game. I think Memphis is going to have some fun. Celtics, they're just on a tear right now. They're probably going to shoot wild from 3, like 52% or something nonsense like that. They always seem to do that against the Bucks. And a 50-50 wash kind of game against Cleveland. I don't know. I don't really see them like caring all that much if it really, really, really matters for the seeding. Maybe they'll play a full game and maybe Allen is back and LeVert is at full strength again and whatnot. But I just, they can lose that game just because they can lose it. It's the last game of the year. Maybe they want to rest before the playoffs. going into the play-in and then whatnot. So the Bucks finishing with 50 wins. And as for seeding, who knows? Celtics are playing great right now. Maybe the Bucks go 9-1 in these last games. Maybe they go 1-9. Who knows? It's really hard to tell when there's still a bunch of matchups in the East with the Bulls. Like the Bucks play the Nets, 76ers, Bulls, and Celtics. 4 out of their 10 games that they have remaining. I mean, they play the Wizards too, but 4 out of their 10 games are against like top seeded, other than the Nets, who might as well be top seeded teams. And I just think it's going to be wild. These East playoffs seedings is going to be wild with the whole play-in and whatnot. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm really excited. I think they'll get to that 50 win mark and they'll probably cap it off there. But let me know what you think. Let me know below. Is this bad analysis? Who knows? But thanks for watching and go Bucks. Peace. See you again next time.